Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to jump on here right quick. One of my followers on YouTube brought up a good point. My previous video, I was talking about taxes, how they tax you and tax you and tax you. But another point to bring up is the fact that the government, makes up the laws and then they sign them into law and we must obey them. Or they ticket us and get more money from us. Not only do they tax us for everything, but they make the laws that we're supposed to follow. So after getting that message, which I thank you to my subscriber who let me know to bring this up, I went ahead and I looked up some of the most ridiculous laws in the United States. And here are a couple of them. In Alabama and Anniston, you may not wear blue jeans down Noble Street. That's against the law. Bear wrestling matches are prohibited. Dominoes may not be played on Sunday in Alabama. We'll scoot on down here to Alaska. In Alaska, it is illegal to whisper in someone's ear while they are moose hunting. That is against the law. Even though it's legal to hunt bear, it is illegal to wake up a bear and take a picture for photo opportunities. That's against the law. In Arizona, donkeys cannot sleep in bathtubs. That's against the law. Glendale, cars may not be driven in reverse. That's against the law. Hunting camels is prohibited in Arizona. Now, I was unaware that there was camels in Arizona. I was aware that there were camel toes around the world, but not in Arizona. It is illegal for men and women over the age of 18 to have less than one missing tooth visible when smiling. I'm reading these directly off from, these are laws that are actually in effect. Remind you, our government, if they show up and say that they're from the government and they're here to help, this is the kind of laws that they're putting forth to make sure that we're taken care of, okay? In Arkansas, a law provides that school teachers who bob their hair will not get a raise. Alligators may not be kept in bathtubs in Arkansas. There was one up here where there was one that I couldn't. In Alabama, it is illegal to drive for a driver to be blindfolded while operating a vehicle. That's an interesting one. In Michigan, this one is down a little further, but in Michigan, I lost my train of thought there. Sorry. Some of these are so ridiculous. I'm trying not to laugh. Oh, that's what it was. In Michigan, adultery is a felony. If you cheat on your wife, in Michigan now, it is a felony. Just so you know. Thought I'd let you guys know that. So don't get caught because you'll be in some serious trouble. In California, Baldwin Park, nobody is allowed to ride a bicycle in a swimming pool. Okay? Not allowed. So don't do that. It's illegal. In Blythe, you are not permitted to wear cowboy boots unless you already own at least 2 cows. These are laws in California now, okay? These ones probably could go on forever. In Burlingame, it is illegal to spit except on baseball diamonds. Caramel ice cream may not be eaten while standing on the sidewalk. It was repealed when Clint Eastwood was mayor. Okay, so that was repealed and they fixed it. Women may not wear high heels while in the city limits. That's against the law. Well, I know there's a lot of people who break that law in California. Just saying that out there. Hollywood, it is illegal to drive more than 2,000 sheep down Hollywood Boulevard at one time. Wow. There's a lot of sheep being driven all over right now in the United States. And I hope that that ends here real soon. That's why we're doing these videos, to bring awareness to these ridiculous laws that they put forth. Now, if you break these laws, like we said, you'll get a ticket and they'll get more money from you because they're the ones who make up the rules. In Colorado, car dealers may not show cars on Sunday. Cripple Creek, it is illegal to bring your horse or pack mule above the ground floor of any building. Don't get caught doing that. You can't do it. I mean, I know you're going to want to try, but you cannot do it, okay? In Denver, the dog catcher must notify dogs of impounding by posting for 3 consecutive days a notice on a tree in the city park and along a public road running through said park. It is unlawful to lend your vacuum cleaner to your next door neighbor. It is illegal to mistreat rats. You may not drive a black car on Sundays. This is in Denver. So just don't do that, okay? Against the law. We don't want you to get in trouble. We want you to be able to get to the polls in November, okay? So, in Connecticut, a local ordinance in Atwoodville, Connecticut, prohibits people from playing Scrabble while waiting for a politician to speak. So if you're going to any of the rallies, any of the politicians out there, do not bring a Scrabble game. It's against the law. They won't allow that, okay? In Delaware, prohibits horse racing of any kind on Good Friday and Easter Sunday. In Delaware, it is illegal to get married on a dare, okay? Don't get drunk, spin the bottle, dare, whatever, and get married. It's against the law. Don't do it. In Florida, in Sarasota, it is illegal to sing in public, in a public place, while attired in a swimsuit. A special law prohibits unmarried women from parachuting on Sunday, or she shall risk arrest, fine, and or jailing. Okay? Against the law. Do not parachute on Sunday. It's just, you don't want to do it. It's against the law. In Florida, failure to tell your neighbor his house is on fire is illegal. So, just a little quick, synopsis here. If you look out the window, neighbor's house is on fire, and you are minding your business, and you run back in the house to have coffee, you're breaking the law. You need to call someone and tell them right away, neighbor's house is burning down. I know now if you were the one who was involved in it, might not want to call, but you have to. It's against the law. So, just letting you guys know that. Georgia, in Ackworth, all citizens must own a rake. That it's a law. You must own a rake. Against the law to tie a giraffe to a telephone pole or a street lamp in Georgia. So don't do that. That's not going to land you any points. In Jonesboro, it is illegal to say, oh boy, in Georgia. Don't do it. Hawaii, all residents may be fined as a result of not owning a boat. Now, I, would love to own a boat if the economy wasn't going to crap and I could afford it. Definitely would love to own a boat. And where they make it a law in Hawaii, you have to own a boat. I hope they at least give them some sort of assistance with buying boats. Otherwise, it's a law. Against the law to not own a boat in Hawaii. Coins are not allowed to be placed in one's ear in Hawaii. Don't do it. Okay, let's scroll on down here. Now, I'm skipping a whole bunch of these because there is millions of them, but we're just kind of breezing through. In Idaho, Boise residents may not fish from a giraffe's back. Well, if you don't have a boat and it's deeper water and you ride your giraffe out there, you cannot fish from it. That's against the law. Now, I don't know how many big-time lakes there are in Idaho, but whatever you do, don't take your giraffe out there to go fishing, okay? Idaho Falls, Idaho. If you are 88 years of age or older, it is illegal for you to ride a motorcycle. So you guys who, are part of the Hells Angels, I would not suggest retiring in Idaho. You can't ride a motorcycle after the age of 88. It's against the law. Idaho state law makes it illegal for a man to give his sweatshirt, his sweetheart, a box of candy weighing less than 50 pounds. That's against the law. Don't do it. In Illinois, this one goes on forever, but we're going to read a couple of them. A state law in Illinois mandates that all bachelors should be called master, not mister, when addressed by their female counterparts. That's not such a bad law. I like that one. In Des Plaines, wheelbarrows with for sale signs may not be chained to trees. Against the law. Eureka, a man with a mustache may not kiss a woman. Against the law. In Chicago, it is also illegal to take a French poodle to the opera. Can't do it. Sorry. So that one lady there, I think Paris Hilton, who carries her dog in the... Don't go to Illinois. Even if it's a different style dog, you don't want to take that risk of taking your dog into the opera. You may be convicted of a Class 4 felony offense punishable by up to 3 years in state prison for the crime of eavesdropping on your own conversation. That's a Class 4 felony, eavesdropping on your own conversation. Now, like I said, you can look these up. These are real laws within the United States, okay? Indiana. Spiteful gossip and talking behind a person's back are illegal. Do not do it. All males 18 to 50 years old must work 6 days a year on public roads. That's a law. Citizens are not allowed to attend a cinema or theater, nor ride in a public streetcar within at least 4 hours after eating garlic. That's a law. Now, if you lived in Transylvania, probably wouldn't be horrible because you'd want to keep the werewolves and vampires at bay, but you cannot do it in Indiana. So don't try it. You'll get in trouble. In Iowa, a man with a mustache may never kiss a woman in public. Woo, that's in 2 states now. We've covered that one. That's a law. Horses are forbidden to eat fire hydrants in Marshalltown, Iowa. That one I do have some questions about. I don't know how a horse is going to eat a fire hydrant, but if for some reason they can eat a steel fire hydrant, it's not allowed in Iowa. It's against the law. In Kansas City, it is illegal to catch bullfrogs in a tomato patch. It is illegal to hunt whales, and it is illegal to put ice cream on cherry pie in Kansas. Those are against the law. In Kentucky, every citizen is required to take a shower once a year. Well, once a year, yeah, you have to do it. It's a law. So people who want to be stinky, I wouldn't suggest going to Kentucky. They're not gonna allow it. You have to shower at least once a year. Owensboro, a woman may not buy a hat without her husband's permission. Yeah, so ask permission, ladies, if you want to go grab a hat. Check with the old man, see if it's okay. It is illegal in Kentucky to marry the same man more than 3 times. Now, there's a lot of ladies that I know we're going to have a real big problem with that, so don't ever move to Kentucky, okay? Big time problems there. So don't do it, okay? Surprisingly, Kentucky had very few laws. We're going to do a couple more. Minnesota. A Michigan law states that a wife's hair legally belongs to her husband. That's a law. A woman isn't allowed to cut her own hair without her husband's permission. In Detroit, Michigan, it's weird. It says Minnesota, but they're saying a bunch of stuff about Michigan here. So we're going to just keep reading. In Detroit, Michigan, it is illegal to sleep in a bathtub. Yeah, can't do it. A person may not cross state lines with a duck atop of his head. I guess her is okay. So if you want to take that duck and wear it on your head, have the old lady do it for you because it's a law and you get in trouble. In Temperance, Mississippi, you can't walk a dog without dressing it in diapers. That's a law. It is illegal to drive around the town square more than 100 times in a single session. That's a law. In Missouri, Elixir Springs. Hard objects may not be thrown by hand. Worrying squirrels is not tolerated. 4 women may not rent an apartment together. Now, I kind of stand behind that one there. That's if you have 4 women renting the same apartment there, that could be bad news for the fellas in the area. I'm just saying. I kind of support that one. Getting closer to home here in Montana, it is a felony for a wife to open her husband's mail. Very interesting. Don't do it, ladies. You'll get in trouble. Balls may not be thrown within the city limits in Montana. Okay? In Nebraska, a man is not allowed to run around with a shaved chest. That's against the law. A parent can be arrested if he or her or his child cannot hold back a burp during church service. That's a law. It is illegal for a mother to give her daughter a perm without a state license in Nebraska. In Lay, Nebraska, donut holes may not be sold. In Waterloo, barbers are forbidden from eating onions between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. I'm guessing so you don't have bad breath and the people have to smell your breath, but it's against the law. Let's scroll down a little further. New Mexico. A city council member in Albuquerque, New Mexico, introduced a resolution a few years ago to ban Santa Claus from the city. The matter was defeated. So Santa Claus is still allowed. They were not allowed to pass that law. They tried, but they couldn't get it. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, it is illegal for cab drivers to reach out and pull potential customers into their cabs. So if you're trying to get a little extra money by being a cabbie and snatching people, probably going to get in trouble. Don't do it. Now, we're down to New York here, and there's a lot of them. A fine of $25 can be levied for flirting, so don't flirt. A license must be purchased before hanging clothes on a clothesline in New York City, otherwise you'll get in trouble. Carmel. A man can't go outside while wearing a jacket and pants that do not match. In Carmel, New York. Don't do it. Citizens may not greet each other by putting one's thumb to the nose and wiggling their fingers. You cannot do that. Donkeys are not allowed to sleep in bathtubs in Brooklyn, New York. During a concert, it is illegal to eat peanuts and walk backwards on the sidewalks. Now, just trying to figure out where some of these, where they come up with some of these laws. North Dakota, Fargo. One may be jailed for wearing a hat while dancing or even for wearing a hat to the function where dancing is taking place. No hats. So if you're bald and you're trying to cover it up, the ladies are going to see it. Sorry. That's just going to happen. So let's go down to where I'm from here. Well, South Dakota. I'm not from there, but it is illegal to lie down and fall asleep in a cheese factory. That is the only law that they're showing here. So South Dakota might be a good place to live. Who knows? Texas, there's a couple of them. A city ordinance states that persons cannot go barefoot without first obtaining a special $5 permit. So you have to get permits to walk barefoot. So let's get that taken care of before you get in trouble. All right, Wyoming. Cheyenne citizens may not take showers on Wednesdays. That's against the law. In Wyoming, it is illegal to tattoo a horse with the intent of making it unrecognizable to its owner. Don't do it. You may not take a picture of a rabbit during the month of June. Okay? So, now a lot of these laws were probably put on the books long ago. But the fact of the matter is that they are on the books. These are laws that our lawmakers have written and put forth so that way we can be busted for it. You can't collect rainwater. You can't sell milk that you get straight from a cow. There's all kinds of these laws that they put forth, and if we get in trouble for them, we have to pay fines, tickets, possibly even be jailed, and still continue to pay fines. So taxing us nonstop is not enough. They have to write these ridiculous laws and put them on the books so that way they have all kinds of things that they could go after us for. I don't remember any meeting throughout history where everybody sat down and thought it was a good idea to let the government own the animals, the fish, the water, the gas and oil that comes from the ground, the electricity. I don't know how or when it happened, but they just decided they own them. And you have to pay to hunt them. You have to pay to go on the water. You have to pay the government because they own it now. They make the rules. If you break them, you get in trouble. You have to pay fines. So hopefully, one of these days, we'll get back to a constitutional republic, is what the United States is. And it was designed that it was supposed to be ran by the people. The people's voice should be heard, and all of this nonsense needs to go out the window. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Let me know some of the ridiculous laws in your town, where you're at. And I hope I covered some of the stuff that, like I said, my follower asked me to talk about it. So I hope I covered it, and we'll see you on the next video.